Hello friends, welcome to Lukman IAS. So friends, today we are going to post this second video. This is the second video in the series of various videos that we have planned to post for you people to know about the various aspects of civil services, its examination, syllabus, strategies, all those things. So in this second video, we are going to discuss the scheme of the civil services examination. And in that process, let us first see, friends, the eligibility. Eligibility is determined by 4 factors, and you can see this on your screen also: nationality, age limits, number of attempts, and educational. Nationality, it means that generally a candidate should be a citizen of India, Nepal, Bhutan, and some other special cases are also allowed. For example, some refugees also. They can apply for this examination, but in case of IAS, IPS, and IFS, he or she must be a citizen of India. This is very important. Then comes the age limits. This is 21 to 32 for unreserved category, but there is age relaxation also for certain categories, for example OBC, SC, ST, defense service personnel. And then comes the number of attempts. There are 6 for unreserved, 9 for OBC, and no such number of attempts are there for SC, ST. And then friends, educational qualification. So it is a degree, at least a degree from any of the universities incorporated by an act of center or state. The good thing is that, friends, appearing candidates are also allowed to fill the form and appear in the examination. Now friends, let us see the plan of the examination. The plan of the examination is divided into 2 successive stages. One is the preliminary examination and the other is the main examination. Civil services preliminary examination, this is objective type, and in fact this examination is screening type. In fact, it is the screening stage for selection for the next round, that is the main examination. And then comes the civil services main examination. This includes written as well as interview. So both written and interview constitutes this main examination, friends. Friends, now let us see the preliminary examination. This exam consists of 2 papers, and both papers are objective type, multiple choice questions, each carrying 200 marks, that is 400 in total. If we speak about paper 1, friends, then it is general studies paper, and there are questions from history, geography, polity, governance, environment, current affairs, etc. There are 100 questions and each question carries 2 marks. Friends, there is negative marking also, and in fact 1/3 of the marks is deducted for each wrong answer. So this is one thing we must keep in mind. Then comes the paper 2. This paper 2 includes test of comprehension, general mental ability, basic numeracy, data interpretation, etc. In fact, this paper 2 consists of 80 questions, each carrying 2.5 marks, and in this case also, in this paper also, there is negative marking, that is 1/3 of the marks cut for each wrong. Now friends, 2 things must be kept in mind. Paper 2 is qualifying and paper 1 determines the merit list, but this merit list is subject to qualifying the paper 2. That's why paper 2 is very important, though it is qualifying in nature, but it is very important, and the cutoff is determined by paper 1 marks. Friends, after that examination, preliminary examination, those who have qualified for the next round, they go for the written examination, main examination, written part. This written part consists of 2 papers, 2 types of papers rather. One is the qualifying paper and the other are those papers which determine the merit. So first let us see the qualifying paper, friends. This qualifying paper, in fact they are language papers, and there are 2 papers, paper A and paper B. Paper A consists of those languages which are given in the 8th schedule of the constitution. 22 languages are there. So one out of those 22, one has to be opted, and 300 marks are allotted. Friends, 25% is required to get qualified, but this paper A is also exempted for certain category of candidates. For example, those coming from Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, and Sikkim. Similarly, friends, there is paper B. This is English paper and carries 300 marks. 25% is required to get qualified. Now friends, see, this qualifying paper, though easy, though only qualifying is required in this case, but it is very important, because if a candidate is unable to qualify in these papers, then the written result will not come. Secondly, these papers are very important for determination of rank also. This is one minor aspect, micro aspect many people don't know. In fact, when there is tie of marks, then in the determination of rank, the marks obtained in these language papers are also considered. That's why these language papers are also very important. Friends, then comes the papers to be counted for merit. There are 7 papers as such in this case, and each paper carries 250 marks. The paper 1 is the essay paper, and there are 2 essays to be written. each carrying 125 marks. Then comes the paper 2. This is GS paper 1 in fact, and there are questions from Indian heritage and culture, history, geography of the world and the society. In fact, history of the world is also there, geography of the world, and of course about India also we study, and then the society. Then there is paper 3. This is GS paper 2, and the questions are asked from governance, constitution, polity, social justice and international relations. Friends, then comes paper 4. This is in fact GS paper 3, technology, economic development, biodiversity, environment, security and disaster management. Then comes paper 5, and this is general studies paper 4, which we call as ethics paper, ethics, integrity and aptitude. After these 5 papers, friends, there are 2 papers, paper 6 and paper 7, which are optional papers. In fact, there is a list of 26 subjects, out of which we have to select at least one subject as an optional, and 2 papers are there for that optional, paper 6 and paper 7, each carrying 250 marks. That is, the optional carries 500 marks. This is how these are the various papers that we have to write in the written examination. These are subjective type, and 3 hours are given to write those papers. Now friends, here one important thing is that for paper 1 to 7 also UPSC determines certain qualifying marks, and it is up to the discretion of the UPSC to fix that qualifying marks. This is not in general given in the notification as such, but UPSC determines some qualifying marks for each of these papers. Now friends, after those candidates who have qualified for this written examination, they go for the next stage, that is the interview stage. And in interview stage, friends, which is also a part of the main examination as such, it carries 275 marks, but friends, there is no minimum qualifying marks that is required, and the interview is meant to assess the mental caliber of the candidate, mental alertness, critical powers, balance of judgment, the keen interest in current affairs and the various issues which are going on. So this is how the interview is conducted. Almost it goes for 2 to 3 months, and when the interview ends after 4 or 5 days, the result is published. The final result is published, which is based on the marks obtained in written and interview. Total marks calculates about 2025. So this is how the process of examination ends, which takes almost 1 year and 2 or 3 months, starting from the date from which on which the notification is released by UPSC. So this is how the pattern of the examination, friends. Now in the next video we are going to post something about the syllabus and strategies and various things. So keep waiting for our video, friends, and by that time you are always welcome to comment on our endeavor and give us your feedback. Thank you so much.